welcome back to our live coverage of End User Computing Innovation Day. I'm A.M. Grabelny, a developer advocate here at AWS, and we're bringing you all of our end user computing services today here on the Innovation Day. But I'm joined by one of my, we established BFFs, which I think stands for Ben Folds 5 Fan Club, right?
Brick.
Brick, yeah. Oh, Brick, what a great song.
Hey,
Jeff, tell them about yourself.
Everyone, my name is Jeff Marushak. I'm a Senior Solutions Architect on our Department of Defense Air Force team, here co-hosting the 2023 AWS End User Computing Innovation Day with AM. But the real guest right now is Ariel. Ariel, welcome to the show. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Ariel Fu. I'm the Senior Product Manager at AWS End User Computing team. Nice to meet you all virtually, and thank you for having me, Jeff and AM.
So let's start with the baseline. And even before we start talking about services, products, how has the work environment changed, and what kind of trends are we seeing with VDI systems and maybe even remote work solutions? But what are we seeing in the workplace?
Yeah, that's a good question. As the hybrid work mode becomes more and more popular, and also as the technologies advance so rapidly, nowadays people are expecting, oh, okay, I can easily access my applications on my preferred operating system on my device and basically be able to work productively from anywhere, anytime. And such trends just present a great challenge for organizations, as now IT administrators, they not only have to manage a large range of applications, operating systems, devices, also they have to ensure those systems are secure and reliable to their end users.
Yeah, it's one thing when you're responsible for the security of your own equipment and things within your own, building per se or campus. But now, as we talk about hybrid and a more distributed workforce, that responsibility of secure items is further out and can be daunting.
Yeah, I have to say I'm a unique person, very unique, Ariel. Very special, very unique. But I know that the workplace and work environment has changed over the past couple of years.
Yes.
Very dramatically for a lot of people. I've been working, from all types of different, I'm a developer advocate, so that means my travel schedule is crazy. I'm all over all the time. So I've been working from different places for years now. I'm mainly working from an airport most of the time. So I'm one of those kind of, I'll say, challenging end users that IT professionals have to support, right? And so I oftentimes have to access, all of these internal pages, tools, all these things from my own devices because my laptop's in my backpack and I'm on an airplane. What challenges do these IT professionals face with users like me?
Yeah, I would say like mixed bag of workloads and user persona. Under one, like large organizations, there are some, office staff. They may want to, use fully functional desktop, and sometimes they have, contractors or test workers who just want to access a particular internal website resources. And also there are some companies that have already invested quite a bit in their on-premise VDI solutions. So now, like due to the challenges we just talked about, how we're going to, enable such a hybrid dynamic workforce to work productively. And that's why we've seen like a growing number of organizations have been adopting cloud-based solutions, just like, AWS and the user computing
I'm
services.
excited to hear more, because you just kind of gave a large gambit of examples from easy examples to maybe more complex things. So I'm excited to hear what AWS has to offer for those.
Sure, of course. And here I create a little chart to help us to navigate through the services that AWS and the user computing has to offer. So like I said, for task workers who just want to access particular, internal website SaaS application, they can consider use, Amazon Workspaces Web, which delivers secure web browse experience. And for, customers who need fully functional desktop they can choose Amazon Workspaces or Amazon AppStream 2.0. And the primary differences between the two is that, you can consider Amazon Workspaces as a replacement of your computer. It's fully persistent. And for AppStream, you can selectively choose what settings you want to persist. And if you just want to deliver a particular applications to your end user, such as very heavy graphics intensive application like Adobe, Creative Clouds, you can consider use AppStream to do that. And for the companies has existing VDI solution, consider using Amazon Workspaces Core, which will provide you a set of API that help you to integrate with Amazon Workspaces infrastructure. So you can enjoy the benefits such as security, reliability, scalability that you can expect from AWS.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear throughout the rest of the day. We're going to hear about each one of these products.
Yes, definitely.
So, Ariel, I'm glad you're here to kind of set the stage and kind of point everyone into what the general purpose is for each one of these. Especially, I've been hearing a lot about Workspaces Core because, as you said, a lot of customers have invested with an on-prem VDI environment, maybe even having a whole team of people that just manage that environment. And they don't want to lose that investment. So Workspaces Core is going to be able to help that. And sometimes that's a barrier when talking about moving to the cloud for VDI is we already have this investment. So I'm excited to see how Workspaces Core is going to fit in there.
Yeah, I think maybe a lot of our audience has maybe heard of Workspaces before, and if they haven't, they may have at least experienced something like Workspaces before, right? This is the offering that is the full-on virtual desktop, right? Where you log in and you've got a desktop set up. Now, can you walk through some of the options for like operating systems, things like that, that Workspaces supports so that, we can support our end users?
Yeah, absolutely. So, at AWS EUC, we believe each customer is unique in terms of your dependencies, just like you. It has different unique dependencies and also requirements. And people prefer different flavor of operating systems. For office staff, they probably want to use Windows-based application and which is licensed operating system in this chart. So as administrator, you can select Windows Server or Windows Desktop depending on your business cases. And for engineers or developers who prefer the open source the operating system, don't worry about that. You have choices. You can choose Ubuntu or Amazon Linux to enable or to install your applications.
That sounds a little bit more up your alley as a developer.
Yeah. I definitely am a
Unix
Unix
developer.
Well, yes, I'm a Unix fan. Kind of sounds like unique there. But yeah, I love Unix systems mainly because of the CLI tools. But yeah, I would probably pick Amazon Linux. Nobody asked me, but I'll offer that. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially for the licensed operating system, customer have choices to bring their own Windows license to Amazon Workspaces, so they have some flexibility to manage their licenses, or they can just purchase the license included bundles or AppStream instances and be able to start from there.
Yeah. So I like the slide that you had up because a lot of times when you're picking a EC2 instance or a virtual machine or now even a VDI machine, it's nice to maybe choose a Linux operating machine and you don't have to worry about that license. But AWS does make it rather simple to, if you do need a Windows environment, to just kind of pay as you go with that licensing. So I like the options for licensing. What other options for licensing?
Can I pause you there? We actually have a question from chat that is I think it's a little bit ahead of where you're at right now, Ariel, but I think it's relevant, especially considering we're talking about Windows. Person in chat is wondering about Microsoft 365 licensing.
Ah, I see.
I know you're going to talk about that, so maybe we can pause and wait until we get to that slide.
Sure.
But I just wanted you to know, people are already wondering.
You guys are ahead of me.
Yes. Sorry, Jeff. Go ahead.
Well, okay, let's start with the options for different licensing, and I think we're going to get to Office 365. So.
Yes. That brings me to here. So, customers, like the audience, on the chat have been asked us, many, many times. Yeah, we appreciate, AWS to provide us the latest hardware, but I still need my, productivity applications to get my job done. And today I'm going to share great news with, all of you. That is, starting from August 1st, 2023, customer can bring your existing Microsoft 365 licenses to Workspaces services. So you should be able to easily activate those applications on Workspaces and without paying additional fee. And also you don't have to, there's no specific requirement needed. You don't have to, update your images or things like that. And for customers who have already using Microsoft Office bundles, we didn't forget about you. So we have an API. You have a choice to migrate from your Microsoft Office license to Microsoft 365. And of course, for some customers, they prefer the simplicity. They want to buy the license directly from AWS. That option is still there. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, great. So we've been talking workspaces. You also had a few other services up there. Do you want to talk about AppStream a little bit now?
Yes, of course. For the AppStream users, EUC also provides you multiple ways to enable your favorite applications on AppStream services. For instance, similar to Workspaces, you can install your open sourced or licensed application on your AppStream images and deliver that desktop experience to your end users. Or if you are, say, educational organization and you want to just teach your students, or if you're a trainer, right, like you want to demo or train particular applications for your corporate users, you can selectively stream graphics or compute intensive application on the GPU enabled instances to your users. And for ISV, independent software vendors, you can easily convert your applications into SaaS offering and stream that application to your customers as well.
And we got a couple segments about just that, right? Coming
yes.
up later about turning your applications into SaaS offerings
yes.
using AppStream. So we'll learn more about AppStream. But that's, I think, a really great distinction to make between Workspaces and AppStream, right? Workspaces
yes.
is more aligned to, I need a full-on desktop environment.
Yes.
AppStream, I just need an application, right?
Yes. Or selective, persistent desktop. Like you don't need to preserve anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
You want to have a fresh start each time when you launch the desktop, then you can select, AppStream.
Great
Yeah.
distinction. Thank you for that, Ariel.
So, Ariel, I see on your last slide you talked about GPU instances, and you kind of hinted at different types of hardware options. Yeah. Can you walk through what options customers have when they're using either Workspaces or AppStream?
Yes, definitely. I would love to. So based on the applications and the services customer are selecting, you may want to right-size your workload and pick and choose the right hardware to ensure your end user can use the application and the service smoothly
and this is
on their
the
devices.
Same as if you're doing EC2 and you're
yes.
right-sizing that instance. You still have to do that with Workspaces as well.
Yeah,
okay.
definitely. For instances, I'll take the previous example: test workers, contractors whose workloads are mainly web-based. You just need to access particular SaaS application, maybe your CRM system, to log some nodes. Then you can consider use standard non-graphics intensive bundles. We have 4 bundle families on the Workspaces and 4 instance family on the AppStream that you can pick and choose from, and it offers up to 8 vCPU for Workspaces and up to 48 vCPU for AppStream. So there's a wide of choices. You can take a look, and also for applications such as Adobe or AutoCAD or MATLAB, those
right.
or oil and gas company, they're using the simulation, very graphics intensive simulation software. You may want to use GPU enabled bundled workspaces or AppStream instances. So for workspaces, you can consider G4DN, and for AppStream, you can use G4DN and G5. And based on your workloads, you can pick and choose, the desired number of vCPUs, your GPU memories, and your system memories. So we have, full documentation and also bundle selection chart to guide you through, which bundle instances you can pick and choose from.
Yeah, I mean, that's the flexibility is wonderful because every single different type of end user is going to have different configurations that they need. If I'm looking for a developer workstation, I'm going to probably need more CPU, more RAM, right? Our video crew, right? All of the crew here, they're going to need more graphics intensive stuff because they're working with, Adobe products that use up a lot of graphics resources as well. So everybody has different needs. This is great that you can address those needs.
Yes, definitely. Also, gamers, gamers love
we were
GPU.
talking gaming in the opening. Were you listening?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So gamers, they have option, to run their applications on GPU instances as well.
Well, I mean, there was about a 12-month period where I was trying to bid and find a graphics card for my new machine. And, there are options now. You don't have to do that. But not only gamers, but as we see how popular the use of digital twins are, and as I said earlier, model-based systems engineering, a lot of high-end graphics design software.
Yes.
Maybe it makes sense for a lot of people to share a smaller number of these virtual workstations than to have a bunch of licenses. So there are options. And I like to see that this is allowing customers to figure out the best way to do it for exactly what they need.
Yes, definitely. And, all the choices we're offering here are fully managed, so you don't have to worry about scale up, scale down. We'll do it for you. And also like the rest of the AWS services, you only pay for the resources that you consume. Yeah.
I think that's a really interesting point that we haven't really yet explored deeply, and I'm sure we'll hear it throughout the entire day. But traditionally, without this cloud option, right, I would have to buy some sort of compute.
License.
Oh no, just some sort of compute, like a physical laptop for every worker who needed access to these, CAD programs or Adobe. But I think what you just said right there, Ariel, you can scale up and down, right?
Yes.
So you don't always have to have, 8 different, compute options available because you have 8 workers. Maybe you have seasonal workers, right? And you could just get rid of them. It's not the sunk cost of buying physical hardware anymore.
Yes, and we have, a full set of API to automate those processes as well. Like you can, program scale up, scale down policies. You can, migrate. You can update your golden images, of your choices. So we have all those things to save the, to reduce the administrative burdens from the administrators. Yeah.
So to build on what AM was talking about, the devices that can connect to these workspaces into the AppStreams. Can you talk a little bit about options customers have with what devices they can use?
I'm in the airport, Ariel. What can I use? I don't have my laptop.
Yeah, same here. I bet each of us will have a bunch of different size, different devices in our backpack, depend on where we are, right? Right now, we're using laptop in our office. We may have our workstations, but we're on the go. We're on our mobile devices. Like, what should we do? Yeah, this is a great question.
In the back of an Uber.
Yes.
I've been there.
Yeah, I've taken a call and been on a team call in the back of an Uber.
Yes. So depending on the services you are selecting and also the applications that you will be using, so you have multiple choices in terms of client application. For example, if you're using workspaces, you can install the native client application on your Windows machine, Linux machine, Mac OSs, and be able to access to your workspaces. workspaces. And you can, also install the Android or iOS on your iPad or Android tablets to access your workspaces. And, web browser, definitely, it's an option. You can always, pull up a web browser and just key in the URL and connect to workspaces. And for AppStream, you can use, Windows native client as well as the web access. And for workspaces web users, they can use anything that is Chrome compatible web browser and securely browse, the content or access your corporate resources. And specifically, one thing I want to call out is, thin client users.
Yep.
It becomes more and more popular these days because those devices less expensive and provide pretty good, security guarantee.
Easy
for the
to
user.
replace,
Exactly.
and not so dependent on a specific model or a specific SKU, or like we can kind of like interswap them whatsoever. So yeah, it offers a lot of options and ease of swappability.
Yes. So if you're using one of the thin client devices, such as HP or iGel or Dellwise, it's worth just checking whether that model is Amazon Workspaces certified. If it's certified, then your user can just easily connect to their workspaces from those thin client devices as well.
We got a few people in chat excited about and kind of realizing the potential for video editing within these workspaces. I don't know if it seems like some of them didn't realize that you could do something like video editing within.
The thing that people realize is they start making 4K content and then realize that your ingrown GPU can't handle or edit 4K footage very well. So that's when they start looking for a GPU. This is exactly what I did. But I see that this could be an option for that.
Yes, definitely. And when it comes to 4K monitors, I believe my coworker, like Ray and Dennis, will talk about more about streaming protocol. How they can use maybe like a multi-monitor for their 4K workloads and be able to run those applications smoothly.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure our video crew right now can't relate in any way, shape, or form. Getting physical desktop resource to video editing super easy, right, guys? Yeah. I'm looking at Calvin right now. He's, yeah. Anyway, so great. So we've got a lot of different client applications on actually reaching these instant virtual desktop environments. Sounds like basically, and I'll tell you, Ariel, it's very rare these days. I still do a little bit of coding every once in a while. Not necessarily good coding, just coding though. And there have been some times where I had to log into my dev workstation from my iPhone, and I wouldn't recommend it all the time, but it really came in handy that I didn't have to connect up with my laptop. I could just do it in the back of an Uber, like Jeff was talking about. So
coding a cell phone, that's really challenging.
It was. Yeah, I like to turn on hard mode sometimes, But yeah, like I said, would not recommend all the time. But it's very convenient when you need it, and it helps. I was in a bind. I needed to get there. So
it's nice to have the option when certain situations arise.
Yeah, that's right. So do you want to wrap up for us here? We've got about 2 minutes left, Ariel. You want to talk about just kind of what we just summarize it.
Yeah, you've summarized all of the options. Are there any new features, anything cool you want to kind of brag about right now as we close up?
Oh, definitely. Oh, thank you for reminding me that. Recently we launched the AppStream 2.0 G5 instances. I probably mentioned it in my previous session, but strongly recommend a customer who need high-end graphics instances, check that out. That one is G8, and you have up to 7 instances sizes that you can choose from. And another cool feature is we recently launched the WSP Linux client for workspaces applications. So basically, it supports Ubuntu 20.04 and Ubuntu 22.04 now. So check that one out, and it has a very feature that I like. That is, user can extend your full screen mode on selective monitors. Just imagine you have 4 monitors here. You can have a full screen screen on 3 out of that 4 monitor. That feature is really handy,
cool,
and
yeah.
many customers have been asking for that for a good while, and that is available on our Linux client now. And lastly is the SAML authentication. So that's a feature has been launched for a while for native. Like
IT organizations are going to,
Yeah.
the light bulbs are going to go off. As soon as you say SAML, they're going to realize, oh, I'm going to be able to have my end users put in their password one less time, possibly.
Yeah, so that feature is available for Workspace's native client application, and we recently launched that feature on Workspace's web access. So open your web browser, single sign-on, through IDP, then you can easily access
and
your
I think
application.
we're going to talk about more of that, maybe a demo of that later on today.
Yes,
So.
definitely.
We're going to hear about all this stuff, but we got 20 seconds. I know you've got a QR code for us, Ariel. Let's get that QR code up to learn more about Microsoft 365, because chat was very interested in that. Any parting words before we got to run?
Yeah, just want to tell the audience that EUC, we will do our best to help to select the right solutions based on your needs. All you need to know, just contact us. We will guide you through, help you to pick and choose the right solution for you. You have plenty of choices for your software and applications.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Ariel. And thank you for watching. Stick around because we're going to be back with more in just a minute.